How's your 2025 finishing? Good evening, America, and welcome back to another episode of Silver Dad Knows. Remember, always live with no edits. If this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button now, as you're going to like what I'm about to say. So, just to begin this evening, I am presenting to you right here, folks, a beautiful, beautiful piece. Honestly, and I say this all the time, one of my favorite pieces, but this is truly one of my favorite pieces. But we're looking at a 2022 St. Helena 1 ounce Silver Queen's Virtues Truth bullion piece, and these are actually struck by the East India Trading Company and backed by the government of St. Helena. This coin is part of the Queen's Virtues collection, and Truth is the second virtue honored. The design features the winged figure of Truth holding a mirror to nature, a child with a palm branch, and a seated woman searching a scroll, all representing the pursuit and protection of truth. The concept of truth as a national and moral virtue is deeply rooted in the Victorian era, attributed largely to Queen Victoria herself. Queen Elizabeth II, too, was seen as a spiritual seeker of truth, reinforcing its importance across generations. The virtues in this collection were originally depicted on the Victoria Memorial outside of Buckingham Palace, created after Queen Victoria's passing in 1901. Atop the monument stands the winged angel of victory, with courage and constancy at her feet, and below them are justice, truth, and charity. Sculpted by Sir Thomas Brock, the memorial symbolizes the traits that made Queen Victoria beloved. This coin reflects those timeless ideals, principles, of course, carried by Queen Elizabeth II and foundational to British identity. But very, very attractive piece. Angelic. Quality right here, folks. Quality, quality, quality. Really want you to see how pristine this is, how attractive it is. I love to see silver like this. This is the type of silver that I always want to be collecting and owning. And before we go any further, I want to give a quick shout out this to my always loyal subscriber. This is Philly Beef. Experience has proved to us that $1 of silver disappears for every dollar of paper emitted. Thomas Jefferson. Wow. Beautiful comment right there coming from Philly Beef. And this is a great, great quote. He actually shared multiple quotes yesterday by Thomas Jefferson, and I'm going to be sharing them more so. Thomas Jefferson was in his early 30s when he wrote the Declaration of Independence. When we're talking about genius, Thomas Jefferson was nothing short of a genius. And I'm going to repeat that. Experience has proved to us that $1 of silver disappears for every dollar of paper emitted. Thomas Jefferson. If you didn't know, he was our third president of these United States. And of course, wrote our Declaration of Independence. And that says a lot, coming from a man in the early 30s, barely beginning their prime. We think about America now, folks, and where America's at, what we've done with all this money printing, and it truly is disgusting when we look back on our founding fathers who told us ahead of time, hey, gold and silver is all you need. Gold and silver is all you need to trade. And then we printed all this paper, put representatives on them who haven't lived for centuries, and we told the public, hey, this is money. Trade with this. Stack this. Who's the real idiot? It's us. It's the people who don't own silver. It's the people who don't own gold. It's the people that don't have actual assets. I know you want to look at that account and you want to boast, oh, I have over $100,000 saved in my JP Morgan Chase, over $100,000 saved in my USAA account. It's amazing. Do you have $100,000 in silver? Do you have $100,000 in gold? Because that's actually real. Everything else in your account that's digital is all hypothetical. It's hypothetical because until you take it out and spend it, is it actually real? Or is it just a perception that it's real? Because right now what I'm looking at, this is not a perception. This is not a perception, folks. This is it. This is it, folks. This is not hypothetical. This is the real deal. And that's why I cannot stress it enough. Own silver, own gold, own actual money, have actual wealth. Don't play the elites game. The elites are out to screw us all. Even themselves, folks. These elites are out to backstab even those at the top. So you don't think they're going to backstab us at the bottom? Come on. I mean, it's like they say common sense isn't common. And it's clearly not common, because that's why most people still aren't stacking gold, still aren't stacking silver. And it's so sad and so terrifying when you look at the big picture, because America is approaching a breaking point. And the signs are all over the place, everywhere. The national debt is exploding past figures once thought impossible. I'm speaking for myself. I never thought it would get to this point. I thought if you would have told me this is the future, I would have said we're living, that's La La Land. It wouldn't happen. And yet inflation continues to eat at every paycheck for all of us. And the cost of living has separated the working class from any real sense of security. The average American is being squeezed harder than ever, while Washington refuses to slow spending or tackle the root causes of this decline. Time is running out to fix the system, plain and simple, or even to pretend it's functioning the way it should. Because if this is the way the system's supposed to function, I mean, I guess it's functioning perfectly for these elites, because America's collapsing in real time. People, families, children, it's all collapsing in real time. Breaks my heart. Every empire in history reaches a moment when its currency weakens faster than its leaders can repair it. America has entered that phase. The dollar has lost over 90% of its purchasing power since the early 1900s, and the pace of decline accelerates each year. Savings accounts don't save anything. Literally. They're called savings accounts, but what are they saving? Paper that's diminishing by the hour? Raises don't keep up with inflation, and no matter how hard Americans work, their money buys less with every passing season. Forget about every passing season, every passing week, every passing day. The clock is ticking, and most people still don't even realize it. It's like I said, common sense truly is not common. Meanwhile, the global financial order is shifting. Nations around the world are trading outside the dollar, stacking gold, and of course, stacking silver. They go hand in hand, and preparing for a world where the U.S. no longer dominates global trade. Sad. When foreign governments and central banks start preparing for the end game, everyday Americans should take notice, have to take notice. The truth is simple. America's financial timeline is shortening, but silver's timeline is eternal. Right? We know that. Unlike the dollar, silver doesn't lose value because a politician printed too much of it. It doesn't depend on interest rates. It doesn't depend on elections or Wall Street manipulation to hold its worth. Silver has been real money for thousands of years and has survived every currency collapse ever recorded. It doesn't need Congress, a central bank, or a stimulus package. Silver stands on its own, regardless of the chaos around it. And here's the real advantage. While America runs out of time financially, silver grows more important. Industrial demand continues rising, from solar panels, massively important, to electronics, to batteries, all essentials. Supply is tightening as mining output declines. At the same time, more everyday people are waking up and stacking while they still can. I'm one of those people. This perfect storm creates a long-term path upward for silver, one that doesn't rely on hope, one that doesn't rely on promises, one that does not rely on political BS. America may be running out of time, but you don't have to. Silver gives you a lifeline, something solid, finite, and real in a world built on debt and delay. As the clock winds down, the people who are preparing now, right now, today, yesterday, will be the one standing strong when the system finally reaches zero, because that's where we're going, folks. As always, thank you so much for joining us for another evening, another episode of Silver Dad Knows. God bless you, God bless your household, and God bless America.